If you are new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener. I'm Joy Baird. It's time to start planting peppers. Peppers, typically you want to plant your peppers. We do them 10 to 12 weeks before your last average frost date. You can find that by going to your favorite search engine and putting in last average frost date and inserting your zip code. Now, you want to get them established like you would see at the garden center. Peppers are a slow growing plant, so we want to start them early enough to where we can get them a good size and get them transplanted in the garden. Now, there's many different ways to start pepper seeds. This is a way that we've done it for many years, and it's worked quite well. I'll kind of go over the preliminaries, and then we'll go ahead and start planting them. We start them in solo cups for for one main reason. I can start about 10 pepper plants in one of these solo cups. Now, based on the seed viability, the older the seeds, the less chance that they will come up. You lose 10% every year. So if you got 6-year-old seeds, probably only got about 50 to 60% germination rate. About half of them are going to come up. So early on, I can plant 10 seeds here, 10 in all of these. And then once they get established, 2, 3, 4 inches tall, then I can remove them out of the solo cup, take the healthiest ones, and transplant them into my root maker 32 cell tray for air pruning the roots. And each cell here would get one pepper. We find the 32 cell works quite well. When we do tomatoes, we do the 18 cell. When we do herbs or brassicas, we do the 64 cell. Works really well for this. Put it in a 10 by 12 flat. You can see there's holes here. That air prunes the roots. So whenever you remove them from the cell, they have a very lush root system that's not root bound. And it works really well. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to tease the roots. You put them in the ground. So peppers can be fidgety. They can be a pain. Some people have a challenge with it. So there's a couple of factors you need to look at. 1, good seed. 2, nutrient-rich soil. 3, a heat source. And optional, but really does help, for a good grow light. So what we have here is good compost that we have made on our porch. This is good. This is about 85 to 90% broke down. Now you may think, oh, you don't want to start seeds in compost. You can. We've done this for many years and it's worked quite well. You can go to your garden center and buy the very loose, fluffy seed starting mix or potting soil that contains a slow release fertilizer, vermiculite or perlite to add aeration. This works quite well. If you have some old compost or old potting mix, like we did, we mixed that into this. We took a couple of scoops of dry stuff, worked it in, just to kind of get rid of the old stuff and expand and make this last a little bit longer. A lot cheaper to make it than buy it, but that's how we're doing it this year. And what we've already done with the rosemary and the onions has worked and is working quite well. So we're just going to start here. We're going to mark our solo cup. We're going to do lunchbox. These are very compact pepper plants that have a very a large amount of very small peppers that you would get in a bag at the grocery store. Multiple colors, very lush, heavy producing. So we're going to put 8, 9, 10 seeds in. I'm going to go about 6 to 7 seeds because these are fresh seeds. Some of our older seeds, I will plant many, many more seeds in that. So there, well, that was all from last year. Okay, so that's the old pack from last year. So I've got 7 seeds. So I'm just going to drop them in here, scattering them about, not piling them all in one pile. Then I'm just going to take some of the compost and sprinkle on top. It doesn't have to be thick, but you do want the seeds to be covered. This is where you may be concerned you're going to hamper the growth of the seeds, and you really are not. You just give that a pack down so we have good seed to soil contact. Now, some of you may start in the expandable peat pellets, which is a great technology. There's a couple of downsides you want to be aware of. Most, if not all, of the expanding peat pellets do not contain any nutrient value. So as they expand, they're peat moss. The seed you plant, it starts to grow, it looks great because it's using the energy that has been stored by nature inside of the seed coat. After about 2 to 3 weeks, that plant begins to look kind of not so great. What you want to do is you want to supplement some liquid fertilizer or compost tea to allow that plant to begin to grow and get the nutrients it needs. So keep that in mind. Or at that point where it's beginning to grow, you can tear the netting off and place it in, for our sake, root maker tray, and then put potting soil or compost around it, and you can go that route as well. So that's the way I'm going to plant all of our pepper seeds, just like that. Another thing you want to keep in mind is peppers are a tropical plant and they like heat. And some people may have problems getting to germinate because their soil is cold. So you may go to the bathroom and get a heat pad that you would use for a sore muscle and put underneath to try to get some heat to get in the soil. This is not a good thought process, as the newer ones have a sensor on it, only lasts for so many minutes and it shuts off. The old ones can be dangerous. You don't need a heat mat in that instance, or a heat pad, or heat mat in the horticultural world, if you are growing them like we are in a controlled environment. We've got a radiator behind our almost 700-day-old, probably over 700-day-old tomato plants, that our peppers will sit underneath this table, and that is the warmest portion of the room. If you're in a normal home, 68, 72, you're going to have good success with starting peppers with the ambient temperature in the soil. If you are in an unclimatized basement, garage, shed, greenhouse, then that's where a horticultural grade heat mat would be beneficial. It's keeping that soil warm until the seeds germinate. Once the seeds germinate, you want to kill the heat off of it. Excess heat in the roots can cause legginess in all varieties of vegetables. Fourthly, you don't need a grow light, but a grow light makes a tremendous difference if you are investing in the time and effort to grow your own seeds. And your plant starts, as we've seen in many years past, the price continues to go up per plant at the garden center. $5, $6, $7, $8 for one pepper plant. So you can start a whole bunch for very little, but investing in a good quality grow light makes a big difference. We use Happy Leaf LED. They're American-made grow lights in the Chicago area. We've been using these for over 10 years now with zero issues. They have the correct spectrum of light, and they provide the plant, the seedling, with 10 times more ambient light than the plant needs. Most of the tube lights or the shop lights that you get, yeah, they work. You've probably used them, and they've made your plants grow, but they get weaker and weaker and weaker, and they produce and provide about 10 times less light than that plant could potentially absorb. And if you give the plant enough light, good roots, good soil, good moisture, you're going to have a much healthier plant. So that's how we are going to start our pepper plants indoors, under grow lights, in potting soil, with good nutrient-rich soil. Now, whenever these things are in the solo cups right there, I'm just going to take one paper towel here that I've used for our onions, I think it was. Once you've planted your seed, as you saw me do, this is going to dry out pretty quick because of the dryness in the air, because it's winter, unless your home is a sauna. What you want to do is take a piece of paper towel, cover that soil, tuck it in, and then you can water. I'm using some compost tea here, that's why it's dark, and just water it. That's going to hold the moisture in, as well as you water, it's going to distribute the water evenly. You're not going to flush the soil out and uncover your seeds. Now, these pepper plants will take about 7 to 14 days to germinate. Once that time frame is getting close, in that 7 to 10 day range, you want to check daily and see what is coming up. When you start to see the pepper seeds germinate, take the paper towel off and then water accordingly. And then once, if you started them in a seed starting tray, you can do this with a whole paper towel. So some tips to help your peppers get off better, so you can have better starts, so you can have better plants, so you don't have to buy them at the garden center. Thanks for watching. I'm Joy Baird, and this has been the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.